When it comes to taking down your protective style, you need to use something that has a lot of slip or is some sort of lubricant or moisturizes your hair. The goal is to not have dry hair when you take the mini twist down, so examples would include conditioner, which is my personal favorite, or you can use oils or butters. Whatever that product is, it needs to cover your strands to make sure you are reducing breakage, which is the reason for not seeing progress in your length retention journey. Most importantly, make sure the ends are moisturized because they are the oldest part of your hair, and so they are very delicate. And if they break, your hair will remain the same length. The taking down of your protective style or your mini twist in this instance is very important that you take your time. The best part about mini twists is that they unravel pretty easily, but I need to take my time when I get to the roots because I braid the roots first, then twist my hair when I install the mini twist. The reason for this is that they tend to last a bit longer and I don't get matted roots when I take the twist down compared to when I just twist from the roots to the ends. I don't use combs for this process because I don't need them, but if you feel the need to use combs, I would suggest that you be extra careful at the ends because they can easily rip through your hair if you aren't gentle. And if you are going to use combs, you definitely need to make sure that your strands are not dry because adding combs means there's a possibility of having to deal with even more breakage than usual. When it comes to deciding on how long you're going to keep your mini twist in for, it really depends on each person. I personally prefer to keep mine in for a month max. Anything more than that, I'm asking for trouble. The takedown process takes longer than usual because my hair has started to mat even though the roots are braided. And even though I still wash and moisturize my hair with mini twist in, that cannot compare to how extra moisturized my hair feels when I wash it without the protective style in. So if I keep the style in longer, I have noticed that my hair starts to feel dry and that I have to moisturize multiple times a week when I normally just moisturize once or twice. So if you do plan on keeping them in for a long period, I would suggest redoing them every now and again when the roots start to feel matted. When it comes to choosing the right protective style, it all depends on, again, each individual. So some people may not like the overall look of a certain protective style. For instance, mini braids don't give me the fuller look that I like compared to mini twist. So nowadays I opt for mini twist just because of that. I am planning on going back to mini braids for a while because they are a great length retention style. But in terms of looks, I think mini twists win, and also they're very versatile. Another thing to take note of might be the time on your hands. If you are a busy person or you're just lazy, you might pick mini twists because they are quicker to install and quicker to take down. But on the other hand, somebody else might pick mini braids because they last longer, and so there is no need to redo them as often as you would have to do a mini twist. You just braid your hair and forget about them. Since I am a fan of both, I alternate between the two. Now, please know that there are many other styles you can try. I just mentioned mini braids and mini twist because those are my favorites. You can try cornrows or larger braids and twist. I just like the mini versions of those styles. You need to try them out first and see how you feel about them, and only then will you know which one is the right one for you by trying them out. I can't choose for you. Natural hair is all about trial and error. Even with the products, you have to try different products out to figure out the right ones for you. You can't always rely on someone to tell you exactly which products to use because you might use them and your hair might not react the way that you thought it would. Or you might try a mini twist and then you find that the amount of shed hair you have to deal with is too much, and so you opt for mini braids. Or some people may do mini braids because they saw somebody else do it and then they realize it's not beneficial for them in whichever way, and so they might go for mini twist afterwards. So the whole point is to try these things out first for yourself. When it comes to using added hair for your protective styles, you can use them if you want to. There's no issues. If you have no issues with it, it's fine. I prefer not to. I've found that my hair has gotten a lot better because synthetic hair tends to weigh my natural hair down, so I've decided to not use any added hair and I just braid with my natural hair. And also braiding with my own hair allows me to moisturize my hair more easily, my strands more easily. But if you want to do added hair, you can go for it. There's no rule against it. I think when it comes to added hair, you need to pay attention to the types of hair that you use. I know that there are other people who have the same problem as I do with synthetic hair. Your scalp itches and there's too many problems with it, so maybe opt for a different type of hair extension. Now, I don't know the different kinds. I think there's human hair or something. I'm not really sure, but all I know is I just prefer to do my my protective styles without any added hair. I have been protective styling for this whole year. Since January up to it's November now, I've been alternating between mini braids and mini twist. So you don't have to do it like I do. You can maybe for 1 month protective style, and then the next month you just prefer to keep your hair in a puff for the whole month. It's really up to you how often you protective style. I have found that the more I do it, the better it is for the health of my hair, because I'm not manipulating my hair as much, because I have hands in my hair syndrome, which is you constantly want to touch your hair, you want to style it in all these different ways, which is fine, but then you have to understand that when you do that, it's going to cause it's going to be over manipulation, and that's not really good for your hair. And also when I have a protective style in, I don't have to worry about which hairstyle to do next because I already have one. So really, when it comes to deciding on how many times you should do a protective style, again, all of this is up to you. You just go about how you feel. I personally prefer to just do it every month. At the end of every month, I'll switch the style to mini braids or mini twist, and that's how I prefer to keep my natural hair. Now, some people think that just because you have your hair in a protective style, you don't really get to wear it out often, or you won't get to enjoy your afro hair, which I understand. But again, this goes back to how you decide to schedule your routine. So if you do long-term protective styles, then yes, you might not be able to wear your hair out more often. So that's what I do. I do long-term protective styles, and so I don't really wear my afro out that much. I just style it in the protective style, whereas some other people might do protective style mini twist, mini braids for 2 weeks, and then for a week they will maybe style their afro and then go back to mini braids. I think when it comes to making that decision of how often you're going to wear your natural hair out, you need to plan. There's a lot of planning that needs to be involved. So you need to schedule when you're going to do your mini braids and when you're going to leave your hair out. At least that's what I do. If I know there's no big events, I will keep the mini twist and mini braids in, and people will see my afro on special occasions.